I'm about to tell you something that every retirement advisor will hate me for. You've been lied to about retirement. The whole find your purpose thing, it's garbage, and I can prove it. Look, retirement advisors make millions selling you this fantasy that you need some grand mission. Start a business, volunteer 40 hours a week, build an empire, reinvent yourself. But here's what they won't tell you. That advice? It's just your old job with a new label. You spent 40 years chained to schedules, deadlines, and other people's expectations. And now they want you to believe retirement should be more of that? I'm calling BS. So what do you actually need? Stay with me because this is going to sound too simple to be true. I'm standing on the Florida coast right now. It's dead quiet. We just had 5 days of straight rain, then 2 days where it dropped to the 30s. But today, perfect. 3-mile-per-hour breeze, water's like glass. And you know what I'm doing? Absolutely nothing. And it's everything. Here's what nobody's telling you about retirement. You don't need purpose. You need fulfillment. And there's a massive difference. Purpose is doing. Fulfillment is being. And after 45 years of doing, just being is revolutionary. Think about it. What actually made you happy this week? I bet it wasn't some grand accomplishment. It was probably waking up without an alarm, a good cup of coffee, a conversation that went somewhere real. These tiny moments, they're not purposeless. They're the entire point. But here's where it gets interesting. During your career, life was measured in milestones, promotions, titles, awards, things you could put on LinkedIn. But none of that matters anymore. And that freaks people out. Because what do you put on a resume for had a peaceful morning? You don't. But that peaceful morning might be worth more than every promotion you ever chased. The retirement industry doesn't want you to know this, because you can't sell courses on just be present. There's no certification for enjoy your coffee. No 5-step program for stop rushing. And that's exactly why it works. I talk to retirees constantly. The happiest ones aren't the ones with the busiest schedules. They're the ones who finally figured out how to just exist without guilt, without pressure, without needing to justify their existence through productivity. Here's the secret. You don't need purpose when you have presence, when you're actually in the moment, when you're where your feet are. When you finally got space for real gratitude instead of just checking boxes. That's the retirement nobody's selling you. So no, you don't need to save the world. You don't need a second career. You don't need to volunteer every single day to prove you're still valuable. You just need to find what fulfills you, even if it's small. Especially if it's small. Because in retirement, small things become big things. And the big things you chased your whole career, they become footnotes. My wife and I are grabbing lunch at a cafe down the coast after this. We're going to sit there, eat slowly, and enjoy every minute. No agenda, no productivity goals, no purpose beyond just being there together. And you know what? That's not just enough. That's everything. If that makes me a bad retirement role model, I'll take it. Because I'd rather be here than anywhere else. And that's the only metric that actually matters. Your retirement doesn't need to look like work. It needs to look like life. Finally.